Update. My 26F boyfriend, 35 meters, choked me until I passed out during sex. Waited until he finished to check on me. Not sure if anybody has mentioned this, but I wanted to make double sure that you are aware. I'm a social worker and worked for a domestic violence non-profit for a couple years. Those last texts are classic abuser language. Do not believe him. He will do anything and say anything to get you back and to get his power back. That last text also screams threat to me. It may not legally qualify as a threat, but please be extra careful. It's great that you're already working with a DV agency. Make sure your advocate knows about that last text and the police know about it, especially if he sent it after he was served with a stay away order. Please have a safety plan in place. Your advocate can help with this and make sure he never finds out where you are staying. The most dangerous time for a survivor of DV is after they've left the abuser. The abuser has lost their power and are desperate. I don't say this to scare you, but to make sure that you and your loved ones take every precaution possible. You're stronger than you know. Please take care. Edit. Just wanted to do a quick edit. Quite a few people are sharing their stories and experiences. Thank you. There is also a lot of conversation around my comment regarding the last text being a threat, but maybe not legally. Or threat means different things to different people. It's even more complicated legally because different states have different requirements for something to be a threat. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just speaking from my very specific experience as a social worker in Gap. That's why I say that it feels like a threat, but I'm not sure how it will be taken by the legal system. Exactly what I thought when I read it as well. That's such textbook abuser language that I wonder if he has the manual somewhere stashed away. Did OP give this text to the police as well? I feel like this should be included in a paper trail in case he finds a next victim. Depending on where OP lives. His abuse with her probably can't be used for his abuse for someone else. I was a court advocate for someone who had been abused by a man. She found his other victims and brought them to court with her to testify about his past abuse. The judge wouldn't hear any of it. You can't use past instances with others to build a case. As far as I understand, that kind of evidence can be used in the UK, but not in the US. Wait, why can we have character witnesses for other types of trials then? That seems insane, that we can't use someone's past stalker and abuser behavior to establish a pattern. For my understanding after a quick minute of googling, character witnesses are used by the defense to establish their good reputation. They aren't used by prosecution to establish a bad reputation. Essentially, just because you committed a crime in the past has no bearing on whether or not you committed the crime you're on trial for. It's irrelevant. Keep in mind I'm not a lawyer. This is just what I know about the system in my state and from my personal experiences as a court intern. I feel like that is just not right. If a character witness can be used to show how good a person is, then they should also be allowed in order to show how bad a person is. This is just another giant hole in our justice system and yet another reason why women don't report. Why does the victim have to fight so hard to prove what happened? So a negative character witness can only be used after a positive one. Apparently there's something else called a habit witness, which would be more appropriate for something like OP's case. For example, for a habit witness, if this guy did something else to another woman, OP could be used as a habit witness in someone else's trial. I'm not sure about the type of validity testing a habit witness would have to go through, because a habit witness could also be lying. Unless that witness has a conviction against the defendant in the same area of crime the trial is about. It seems like this kind of thing would be controversial though. I know some of the judges I have experience with would laugh at habit witnesses and others might let it stand. It doesn't really have that much of a huge factor on the outcome of a case though. I would imagine. It's not the strongest type of evidence out there. I'm not sure if this can only be used in federal court or can be both state and federal. Dang. That's disheartening. I mean, I understand that people can and do lie. But damn. Humans are creatures of habit and honestly I'm of the mind that someone who sexually assaults or rapes another human isn't going to change. The old saying, when someone shows you who they are, believe them, comes to mind. It's interesting to see the US system. In England and Wales you can use a defendant's previous convictions against them to show propensity to commit similar offences or to be untruthful. There are certain restrictions, such as when the previous convictions occurred and how irrelevant they are, e.g. you can't use a previous possession of heroin in an assault case. He says you'd be dead in 6 months without him, but he literally almost killed you like days ago. Psycho. Also, WTF does that mean? A young and healthy adult is not gonna die in 6 months, even if homeless and friendless in our society. The only way a young woman is gonna die in this situation is if someone voluntarily kills her. That last message is clearly a treat. I think his implication is that without his support she'll take her own life. Dude is a waste of oxygen. Op, I'm so glad you got out. MMH, I didn't think about it. But anyway, he seems like a disgusting narcissist and he surely doesn't love her. Oh, for sure he's a possessive narcissistic sack of shit. That's insulting to sacks of s. Don't listen to that bullshit text he sent. Who is he commenting about your life when he was totally close to end yours? It's truly good that you made the right decision by leaving him. Wish you best of luck for future. I would actually take heed of that second text. It reads as a direct threat. Op, stay safe and as far away from this scumbag as you can. Yes. The whole no one will ever love you like me etc has been said to me verbatim. And is just classic abuser horseshit to control someone and make them stay. He is so basic, he is wallpaper. The vanilla of abusive pieces of shit. When abusers use that line, it always translates to no one will hurt you like me in my head. It's mind-boggling how people have the nerve to use that line after hurting someone. That text sounds like a threat, and I hope you'll update your order of protection to include it. Be safe and well. Thank you. All of the texts have been turned over to police already. Your personal effects at his place need to be picked up by someone else or with an escort. The friend I'm staying with had her husband gather some friends with trucks and they were the ones that went and got my things. A Redditor told me to make sure that he couldn't know who I was staying with. So instead of getting any of my friends, my friend's husband's friends went for me. I hope that was enough separation to keep where I'm secret until tomorrow when I go to a different friend's house. That was really sensible. Well done. Good for you, Op. Glad you are safe and take drastic measures to ensure you stay that way. Such as changing your phone number or moving to another city if it is not done yet. You should also consider adaptations on your online presence. Create a new mail address and get rid of the old one. Change all your passwords to super secure ones and keep the new ones in a password manager. Bitwarden, for instance. These password managers can generate a 120 plus random char password that will be impossible to guess by anyone. Add a second factor authentication method, too far, to as many accounts as you can to ensure he cannot log in without physically having your phone. Best technique is with Authy or Google Authenticator. Avoid SMS if you have better choices. Close all unused accounts in general. Recreate other accounts if possible. Make all your accounts private to prevent stalking. Avoid reusing the same username. Go for something random, where it does not matter. Make sure some older shared accounts are no longer accessible to him. Netflix, iCloud, Spotify, for instance. If he is tech savvy enough. Some more extreme measures might be necessary. Format computer. Use a Tor to browse internet. You can send me a DM if you want more precision or help with these stuff. Should she get a VPN in this circumstance? Not necessarily. A VPN hides your true IP address. That is basically it. So, for a VPN to be relevant, OPSEC would have to be able to first find OPSIP, then link it to a physical address. This is not really straightforward, but not impossible either for someone that is determined enough. The VPN would definitely prevent that. But if it is an unlikely threat, depends on the guy's skills. There is no real point of using it. That being said, if OPSEC is skilled enough and this is a real concern, then yes, a reliable paid VPN, ProtonVPN, Mulvad, ExpressVPN should be considered. Tor is also another way to hide your true IP and location. It has the benefit of being free and not relying on third parties for your privacy. Side note, while a VPN might not be necessary to hide from her ex, depend on his skills. There is nothing wrong in subscribing to one anyway, a reliable one. Such as the one listed. This will hide her IP from all other websites, prevent linking different accounts based on IP. Hide her browsing from her ISP. Allow her to browse some websites, as if she was in another country. Make sure she stays safe if her ex were to hire someone to track her down, and ensure a safe access to the internet when using open Wi-Fi. To expand a bit more on that. Usually people that are tracked, for whatever reason there is, get caught by dumb mistakes, and not high-level technical hack. This is what experts call poor operational security, OPSEC. After a while you relax your attention. Someone may take a picture at a party in 6 months from now where OP is visible at the back of the room. Then someone else might tag her new Facebook profile on that picture. Her ex will then be able to trace that picture and link it to her social group, a place and so on. And with a bit of social engineering, make his way towards her. All this would involve is a bit of time and a single picture on one of her acquaintance social network. He could also just monitor her parents' house or something like that, and find her when she visits them. Note that this is a worst case scenario. No need to freak out over it. In most abuse cases, the guy get legal repercussions. Do not want to end up in jail because of that and moves on eventually. I hope this will be the case here.